Hi, welcome back to my channel. So welcome to another sit down video, like one of the videos that I hardly ever do. But today's video is a very meaningful one, like a bit personal video. And I decided to actually record it today, which is Sunday, September 10th, instead of Wednesday. I was supposed to record this on Wednesday. I'll actually explain why, I had to, have to record on that day. So on Thursday, the 7th of September, marked 6 months of me getting funding approval to fund my studies for the year. So I actually got approved on my birthday. It was the best gift I could have ever, hoped for or hoped to receive. And that day for me was just, I really wasn't feeling it. I just didn't want to participate because I was having a really hard time, gathering the funds to actually get registered eskoleni for the year, So, but I was applying for many of these funding things that you KZN, like the SRC was raising funds for students. I applied for that. I didn't get approved, and I was told really late to my application wasn't approved, so I need to source some money elsewhere. But I had paid off some of my debt. So UKZN has this thing of you have to pay 15% of your debt if you owe more than 10k, for financial clearance. And I did that, but I didn't get a clear financial clearance. And I went to the finance office. I told them how here's the proof of payment. My parents actually made a payment, 15% of what I was owing. Why am I not cleared? They told me there's some weird reason. They're like, oh, your payment was late. But I'm like, how? Registration is still, people can still register. And then I was like, okay, now what? Because I have to be registered. Mind you, the song is cut. I had been going to classes. I managed to source the timetable to attend. But technically you're not allowed to be on campus if you're not registered. But either way, because whenever that time comes for me to get registered, at least I do. Nothing will come as new to me. I will just try to catch up. These are my catching up that I'd have to do, to catch up with other students, right? Anyhow, I'm having jail at finance office that I did the payment late, so now I can't be clear what and my outstanding balance was at 37k. I asked the lady at finance, I asked her, so what now, because I kind of have to be interested, because Uklele can't do an option for me, I have to study Bologna. She's like, you have to pay the outstanding balance before the 10th of March. I'm like, where am I supposed to get that money? Because my parents don't have that kind of money sitting around, yabo. So what can I do at this point? She gives me a pamphlet from FUNDI South Africa. She's like, you can apply for a loan, yabo. I'm not working, I can't pay off the loan. She's like, no, someone from your family or your parents can actually apply for the loan on your behalf. Take this pamphlet, call the number on the paper, and inquire and see what's going. Okay. Happy. I call my parents. I tell them, okay, this is what is happening at school, and this is what they're suggesting I do, because when isn't being applied, I actually they declined my application, so I have the option of now applying for a loan, which I don't know if I'll even qualify for. We'd qualify for. Okay. Well, I tell my mom, and she's like, what, just call your dad. Call my dad. And I actually called him and we actually discussed this in person. I was so understanding, what Fuma, and he was like, so now what do you need from me? I tell him that, okay, so I did actually call Fundi, and they said that they need your ID, your payslip, and my ID as well. I was like, okay, we went, so I officed in same day, and he gave me the payslip, and he gave me a copy of his ID. I sent those documents through to the person who's going to be handling my application, Fundi, and then he sends me the application form. We printed, I signed, my parents signed, I got witnesses, my ambis. The waiting game began. Mind you, there was about 2 weeks left until a deadline, so the closing of registration. I'm still going to campus, yes, but my anxiety is building up because I'm like, the closing date is coming up really soon. I'm not going to be registered, I need to be in the program and up to date with everything. And I think I was the only one at that time who was not registered, in the entire PGCE program, but I was still going to campus. Gillind, Gifone, they're like, no, Tando, we're still processing what, affordability and interest and all those things and credit, whatnot. Okay. Kwafika nje isikhathi sokuthi ngaze ngaphelelwa yithemba. Tuesday, March 7th, my birthday came around. I wake up excited, my parents sing for me. I was like, okay guys, thank you. But I was not looking forward to going to school. I just wasn't looking forward to participating during the day. My friends, they send me birthday messages. I didn't blue tick them because my blue ticks are off. I'd read the messages and then just not respond because I wasn't feeling it. At around 2 p.m. on that day, I received an approval email. Well, actually, I first got the message from the guy who was processing my application because we would talk even on WhatsApp throughout the entire time. And then I get the email. Hey, Nina. As relief like I was in the library when I was not in the library. I was outside, the library because I was just sitting there waiting for my dad. I screamed and people look at me like I'm crazy. I take, so now I'm going on WhatsApp. I'm not gonna text my mom, text my dad and trying to, to call them and I tell them, guys, I got approval, So when I got the approval message, the guy was handling my application of his he sends me a message on WhatsApp. He says, now take this document, this proof of what you got funding, take it to your finance office and show them that this is how much money you got approved for and they need to clear you now so that you can register. Figure finance office and figure again alone I must pay all of my outstanding debts and check it along as other pamphlets from FUNDI. I was like, hi Priscilla, email, what I need to get registered and then be in the system like every other kid like KZN. They were so happy for me because as like finance like every single day because like I had to just get on top of things because I had to get cleared in one way or the other because they clear me and I go home. 9 p.m. on that day, I received an email from but it was a confirmation of my registration. Happiest day of my life. It was only then that I actually responded to birthday messages from my friends, and I told them, I'm so sorry for responding now. I was just not having a good day, and I would explain what was happening, and I just didn't want to talk to anyone actually. Right, fast forward to a few. So when I was applying for the loan, I also had the option of applying for studying tools being like your devices to help you study. So part of my funding package, like besides the money they were gonna send through, so it was just in mind to clear my historical debt, the funds to study PGCE Lunya, which was about 30k. And of course get a bit more because of us. Along with that came the laptop, the one that I'm using to film this very video. I use my laptop to film if I'm filming like a sit down video. I just use my phone when I'm like so I got the laptop, headphones, wireless headphones, and a mouse and a backpack. I'll try and insert like a picture because I did take a picture of everything. Okay. 7th of March I got approval. But I just got approved and it showed on my statement, right? Then on the 13th of March, the following week, they told me that they were going to deliver my studying tools, being my laptop and my bag. They delivered them at my dad's workplace in Lubaba, and he fetches me on campus with this big brown box. I'm like, is it some journalist? He's like, no, so we get home, and I tell my sister, you need to film this experience. I will try to insert, the video of me unboxing my things. I open the box. I take out this big, not very big, but rectangular box with the HP logo, which was the laptop, my headphones from Volcano, and my mouse from Volcano. Both were wireless, and a backpack from Volcano as well. This is the bag that I got. Yeah, and I'll insert the pictures of the mouse and headphones. Oh, my headphones are not here. I'll just insert the pictures. Yeah. So my friends, like people closer to me, know how extremely is meaningful the right word to use. Yeah, having a laptop to assist me with my studies was something very meaningful to me because now, to those of you who do not know, This is year number 6. I'm a UKZN student, and this is my 3rd laptop. This very laptop that I'm using is my 3rd laptop. First laptop was from NSFAS. I had it for 2 weeks. And I was robbed just outside of campus, and I was leaving to head home. That was 2018 May 15, 2018. Second laptop, I bought it in the last week of July in 2019. So 2019, at the beginning of 2019, I didn't really have money because I wasn't getting my NSFAS allowances because I was in the middle of an appeal. So when my appeal was approved and I would get the funds like towards the very end of May, so money from February, March, April, and May, including my book allowance. So I took a huge chunk of that money and I went to Game and paid a deposit for a brand new laptop. I asked my parents, so I signed documents. Dad became my co-signer, Jay Sasaina, and I would pay over the next 2 months the remaining balance. I will not in July. No, the laptop July. I started paying, I think, like in April. Yeah. And then end of July, I went to Game for the very last time. Land. I got a iLife ZS-CX3. I still even remember it, and it sounds like a model of a car. Beautiful laptop. It was silver, very, very slim and lightweight. It was laptop. Yeah, I had that laptop for about 6 months. January 3 of 2020. And wake up in the morning. We looked for it. Like, I had hoped that my mom was maybe using it the night before, because my mom would actually borrow my laptop and do some school things. I'd ask her, "Mom, did you take the laptop?" She's like, "No, bring it like, how?" We turned the entire house upside down. Cycling laptops and I told her only to realize what's going on. Yes. July, August, September, October, November, December, January. Yeah, 6 months. I had the laptop for 6 months. Throughout that time, and I didn't have a laptop. I would go to like the LANs on campus if I'd need like access to a computer. And sometimes I wouldn't leave my place, like area, to go to the campus, because one of my friends, we're still friends now, but we used to live together. If let's see in areas, she'd be like, "Tando, why are you going to campus? Just use my laptop, I don't mind." Pride, yeah, me. But I just kind of got around it, and I would gladly accept what she's like. And so when I would need the laptop, she'd just give it to me, and she'd be like, let's extend. We lived like in the same flat. Our rooms were adjacent, to each other. This was my door, this was her door. She lived in a sharing room, I had a single room. Okay, I would use her laptop quite frequently. Okay, until I completed my undergrad, which was in July of 2022. Then I back school in serious. 2023 came. Yeah, I didn't have funding until the 7th of March. Following week, I received the laptop here at home. Yeah, I think I might end this video. Actually, no, I won't, because so many interesting things were happening during the time when I was going to campus when I wasn't registered. I did mention that you're not allowed to be on campus if you're not registered. But to me, I did kind of want to be ahead of things, because at the back of my mind, that one day is gonna come, get totally approval and I can finally get registered. And when that day comes, I don't want to yonke into ifiki at least I can just start exposing myself to some of the syllabus, some of the schoolwork, So I was going to campus, and I'd be so happy when I get to campus. So what that means the turnstiles are savings, and you need your student card to tap to your turnstile to unlock it, and then you can get in. So okay, we don't use the turnstiles. They actually open the bigger gates, the gates maybe that are mainly for the disabled students who can't go through the turnstiles. So they would open those gates for everyone. Knowing that nobody's going to stop me and ask for my proof of registration. Okay, I did, journal my experience throughout that very, very dark period of my life. Okay, let me just read here some of it. Oh, before I actually do read some of this, when the first so on Saturdays I attend life orientation teaching. So the first lecture I actually attended of that module, the lecturer Instead, asked me to be the class representative. Yes. In my mind, I was like, hey, class registered. I told her that, doctor, I'm not registered. I don't think I can actually do this. She's like, so you are going to be registered at some point, so you might as well just take the job, because you see, so you might as well. I'm a very active person in class. Like, my lecturers, like, they know me. They've noticed me a lot. So I became class rep. I was very anxious to take on that responsibility, because in my anxiety was, I'm not registered. How am I going to do this? Because I don't even have access to, the learning material on like Learn. Let me just do it. And then I got registered. There's this core module that every PGCE student does. It's called Education Studies. It was EDES 1612 in semester 1. When academics were commenced, I did tell my lecturer up front that, like, I'm not registered, and she was like, no, that's okay. I do know that technically you're not allowed to be on campus, but I'm not going to kick you out of the class. If you want to stay here and learn and get an education, please do stay. I ended up becoming class rep for that module too. So actually, there were students who actually were registered late, but obviously before me, and those students were not coming to class. So they got an extension on the assignment that we had. And I asked Jane, my lecturer, I'm like, how, but now you got registered late, does that mean I got an extension? She's like, nah, but you've been coming to class, so you gotta submit on the deadline like other students. But what the hell, it was fine. Anyhow, let me just read some of these entries I made. The one thing I actually missed so much and looked forward to actually doing was just going to the library. I didn't even want to have to take books out or sit at the computer, but to just go inside and sit. I missed being in the library. I had last been in the library the year before, because then I was at a library on the 8th of March. That was the very first thing I did when I got to campus. I went into the library and I was like, God, I have been waiting for this moment. Okay, just a sec. 18th of Feb. Well, it wasn't my first entry, but into one of the random entries I'm just going to read out to you. 18th of Feb 2023. Today was my 6th day as a postgraduate student at UKZN that isn't registered. LOL. I'm still attending classes, but it is such an exercise getting learning material because I'm not registered. I haven't received a response from funding about the student relief fund I applied for last month. I'm still hoping and waiting for approval. I'm anxious and scared and a bit sad that I might be financially excluded because I don't really have the funds to register. I really want to study and be in school this year because sitting at home is not an option. Having access to the land and to the libraries. A part of me is hoping that some kind-hearted Samaritan could bless me with 7,000 Rand, which was the minimum amount I would need to pay off some of my debts and get registered so that I can pay for my registration. A part of me... Oh, no, I can't read that. On Friday, the 24th of Feb may very well be my last day of attending because registration closes. That was before they actually extended the dates to the 10th of March. Just a miracle is exactly what I want, and I've been praying for silently every single day. I just wish that Lady Luck could be on my side and bless me. Anyway, I did go to school today and I attended my first live orientation lecture. I think I'm the only person in this class that isn't registered. Oh, and this is when I mentioned that I was asked to be the class representative, like a class representative along. But if I'm registered by the 24th, then I can calmly proceed with my academics and assume the responsibilities of being a class rep properly, because I'm very much looking forward to being in school, and I kind of like my lecturers. They are good and so cool. They're actually great at what they do. The past few days have been great. I can tell that I will enjoy this year, and I'm actually loving this year, and I'll be more committed than ever. I'm just hoping and waiting that I do get approval for these funds. Please, God, listen to my heart. Yeah. That was the 18th of Feb. And I kept journaling. But anyway, point of me making this video, it's just for me, because I know that I'm going to look back, because I'm actually looking back now. But there was a time when I was stressing so much. But how am I going to study? Oh, and let me make this clear. This funding that I have is a loan. It is not a scholarship. So now in my previous video, I did mention that I do not have like some kind of government funding when I was talking about the taxi that was burnt on campus. I did have funding in my undergrad, like I had NSFAS funding, and then now I have a student loan. So money was deposited into the UKZN account, and now my dad is paying every single month for that loan. Okay, yeah. If you got to this part of the video, like to the end, that means that you're excited never have. And thank you so much for watching. Yeah, I think I'm gonna keep this video in my favorites because it is something that I will look back into sometime later in my life. Yeah, so I chose to record it today on Sunday because on Wednesday I don't think I'll be like in a good space to record since I'll be on campus, and I can't really do this like maybe like in the library. You can't really be loud in the library, or looking for like an empty class, and there's gonna be a mission and a half. So just filming this today, but I'm gonna publish it on Wednesday. Yo, which publishing is such a mission. Yo, it takes so long. Like my previous video, it took me so long to like upload on YouTube. Yo, YouTube is hectic. Filming is a piece of cake. It's the editing. Hybo. Editing takes up so much time. My previous video, it took me like at least 2 days. Not 2 full days, but I think you catch my drift. It just takes a lot of time to edit, since you be right to be seen like by the public. Anyhow, thank you so much for watching. And I just might mention that it's my confidence for me of like sitting in front of the camera and talking like this in Kwile, because I've never been like that kind of girl, just didn't like being in the spotlight and or even taking pictures I don't really like. But it's school photos that I would look forward to taking. The people I went to high school with, they know there was nobody who was more excited of taking school photos more than me. I have a beautiful smile, guys. So why would I not be? Okay, thank you so much for watching. I will see you next time. I don't even know when that will be because things are about to get hectic for me. Well, Pila, it's only right now, I think it's week 8 of semester 2, but for me it's only week 2 because when semester 2 started, I like straight away went to school, like for my teaching practice. I went to Qatar, then I started attending my lectures last week. It's about to get hectic, so I don't think I'll even have time to film these kind of videos. Anyhow, thank you so much for watching, and shout out to my friend for creating an intro and an outro video for my videos on my channel. She's such a lovely girl. Guys, and go check out on Instagram. I think I had a little awa kumalo. Yeah, I'll just drop a text in Jela so you can see my friend. Anyhow, thank you so much for watching. Bye.